Instagram.
Going live now. Good morning. Are we live?
You are, just not in Instagram yet.
Well, good morning, everyone else but Instagram. Yet. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. We are here, obviously getting ready for Halloween. What are you doing?
That's not
No!
Oh, she jumped.
Is that all he does?
No. Dexter.
See, now you're calling him that. There he goes.
I'll be over here. Oh no.
Don't act surprised. You know how this is how we roll a cut episode.
Can you see the whole thing on the screen?
For the most part.
If you have fun.
Well,
So I did study hall, right? And I was like, I'm not going to turn them on. I'm by myself. I didn't have the... So I promised I'd turn them on for this morning.
Oh,
But that's all I get. Let's see. This is Dexter.
it's Dexter, yes. Good morning, all.
People are like, what is happening this morning?
We're excited that you joined us, and I especially, because if it weren't for you, I'd be left with this guy back here, who's I find a little uncomfortable.
You're not surprised, though. I mean, at this point?
No, not really.
Absolutely not. All right.
Maybe just a little.
Just a little.
She
Good
wasn't ready
morning,
for it.
Marilyn, Cindy, Linda, Janice, Martha, the whole crew. All right. Fantastic. Happy Monday. Good morning, Louise. I'll put that there so you can see people if you'd like.
Okay. Oh, that's really nice.
It is
Maria.
Quilt Show Week.
you got people on Instagram too.
Good morning, people on Instagram.
It looks like Mike. Good Vibes Nutrition.
What's up, Mike?
And then Ralph. RJ.
Shout out to Mike at Good Vibes, by the way. If you live in Palm Coast, or even if you don't, you travel to Palm Coast, go see Mike at Good Vibes.
What is
It's
it?
literally a good vibe. Healthy teas and drinks and coffees and just an amazing environment. He kind of creates this hub for people to network and just meet, and he introduces everybody that walks in to whoever's there. But the shakes and the product
where
is
is that?
phenomenal. St. Joe's Plaza.
Oh, okay. I'll go over there.
Yeah,
Give
it's
me a
awesome.
reason to go. Well,
Yeah, definitely. Tell him Josh sent you.
if I can say it like you did, I will.
Josh sent you. All right. So Quilt Show is almost here. The 19th through the 21st. It's going to be a wild week. It's going to be fun. We're loading up tomorrow and heading out to set up on Wednesday. But the shop is open as usual today and tomorrow. Just a reminder, Wednesday through Saturday, we're only open until 3. So 10 to 3, Wednesday through Saturday. Shan, Christy, and Tamara are going to be here hanging out. They'd love to see you. We will be honoring Quilt Show pricing and specials. But I'll be honest with you, we're not going to have everything at the shop that we have at the show. So in my opinion, you should go to the show. If the booth is too crazy or if we sell out of something, feel free to come back to the shop and we'll still honor that. That's the best way to look at it. And if you're not going to the show, feel free to come on to the ladies. Come on and see the ladies. They're going to know what the show specials are for the most part. It's just that we're taking most of it with us.
Right.
So are you going to take pictures while you're there so you can send them back and people can say, oh, look what they have as a special. Can I get that?
Absolutely. In fact, what people do is they literally take pictures half the time and then come back. They're like, I want this.
Okay.
And then we'll get it for you. So good morning, Sam. Good morning, Mary. Good morning, Linda. So the Quilt Show starts on Thursday and goes through Saturday. 50 vendors, I think, was the count. We'll say 50-ish, which is more than they've had the last 2 years, I think.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know the count last year, but last year was a little bit slower. We've only done it. This will be our 3rd year. But last year was slower compared to the year before. This year is going to be, I guarantee it's going to be way busier. I think there's more quilts. I think there's going to be more to offer, more to see. There's classes. I mean, yeah, free parking.
Free parking, always a big one.
Yeah, there's buses, which we didn't take a bus this year, but we're going to work on it next year.
Mhm.
We're going to work on that. Enough people have asked that I think we could find a way to do it. The problem is I want to be on the bus.
And you can't
But I
be.
can't be, well, maybe I just get the bus to take me into the show.
Well, there.
There's a way.
We'll figure it
We'll
out.
figure it out. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, Hey, awesome people. Excited to attend. Love my light. Awesome, Becca. Fantastic. She got one of the slimline floor lamps, the greatest LED light on the planet, in my opinion. I have one at home. Every time we have them, they sell out. So if you haven't gotten one of those, get one. Okay. Hey, Teresa. Good morning. Mary. Good morning, everybody, if I missed you. So what was I just talking about?
Floor lamps.
Well, she
Time
threw
to
me off.
move
I
on.
wasn't. No, I wasn't talking about floor lamps. Oh, the show. So the quilt show is going to be fantastic. We are taking AccuQuilt. We have an entire AccuQuilt booth, which will include the new AccuQuilt dies. Tony, thank you for reminding me to say that. So
Oh, wow.
obviously, you know that we're probably the largest AccuQuilt dealer. Heck, I might even dare say in Florida, but I can't quote that. But in the area, for sure.
Mhm.
For whatever reason, people haven't jumped on board with the AccuQuilt as far as dealers go. Now, you guys absolutely have jumped on board.
Mhm.
AccuQuilt has made this huge resurgence. So we are going to bring everything that we can possibly get our hands on that's new and things that you maybe haven't seen.
And just remember, if you're trying to figure out, do I want one of these or not? Remember, there's a club here for the AccuQuilt. There's a lot of people coming to that and they love it. They're just doing all kinds of things and making all kinds of things and using it and getting really getting comfortable with their AccuQuilt.
And inspired and motivated.
Yes. Yes. So I think that's a great thing that's going on there.
A lot of people start with this little guy, the Go Me. It used to be called the Go Baby, which is fantastic to take to classes and things like that. But you're limited for the die size. So inevitably, when you fall in love with it, you realize this takes the pain out of cutting. Also, everything's accurate and so much faster. Then you jump, you kind of upgrade. And that's the way that it works.
Yeah.
Whether you trade it in or just keep it for a little portable one, it's up to you. But keep an eye out for the new dies. Also, June Taylor. I don't have anything to show you because it's a quilt as you go, but we're going to do demos. Tony and Nancy, I think, are going to be at that booth. So June Taylor's been around forever.
Yeah.
But they have teamed up with AccuQuilt, so now it's a part of the same company. So it's going to be really cool to have them in the booth. If you went to Daytona, we had it. So
that'll be interesting.
Awesome product and really cool. And honestly, that stuff sells out faster than the AccuQuilt.
Yes.
Who knew? So
yeah,
may want to get there early.
Okay.
Okay. AccuQuilt check. Well, I'll just leave that there out of the way. Oh, something we're going to be doing if you're going to Quilt Fest. You guys are familiar with the Cash Pig drawing, right? Every time you come in, you pay cash, you get a drawing for a gift card. We're going to do that at the show, and it'll just be for the show customers. It'll be $100 gift card. So if you're at the show and you come to any of our booths and you pay cash, you'll get your name in the drawing for $100 gift card. A big Cash Pig.
I have a question.
You have a question? Yes.
If they use the code word of the show, will they get an extra ticket?
Ooh, I like that.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to say if they use the code word, will they get 200? If
Shh. People,
I know one of those.
That's all they're going to remember is somebody said $200.
Sorry, that was wrong.
No, but I love that. Okay, so if you say the code word, which I will tell you at the end of the show.
I already got it picked out.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Which involves the show.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, cool. I had one in mind too, but we'll go with yours. Okay, so at the end of the show, which means you have to stick around to find out, you'll get 2 tickets. And it's $100. That's free money. So
that's a lot.
Yeah.
So the end of the show.
At the end of this show. No.
Oh,
I'm sorry. At the end of Quilt Talk, when we're done, I'll give you the code word.
Okay. Oh, okay. I see.
And then if you say the code word and pay cash at the Quilt Show, Quilt Fest, you'll get 2 tickets to win for a chance to win the $100.
Okay.
$100 gift card. Okay, charity sewing party is also coming up soon, September the 28th. Tony's waving me down.
Talk about the puzzle pieces at the show.
Back up. We're not done talking about Quilt Fest yet.
And the big announcement Thursday.
I was going to say that to the end.
Okay.
But it's on my notes right there. Big announcement.
Oh my gosh.
See this? But you're right. The Quilt Show is we're doing a what do they call it? It's like a little mini shop hop kind of. Well, mini booth hop. So off the wall, Martelli, so many things, Miss D's, Tilted Quilter, Rainbows, and I think that might be all of them. I'm sorry if I forgot. There's 8 are participating. And basically, when you come to our booth, pick up a free puzzle piece. And if you collect all of them, it will complete the puzzle, which is really cool.
Mhm.
It's just a really fun way to have something to take back from Quilt Fest. It's a cool puzzle, but also it gives you a reason to go to all the booths and visit people.
Okay.
And
So
there's
it's really
prizes
fun.
too, right?
What's
That's
that?
And there's prices.
There's there is. There's in fact I think each participant, each booth that participated, we did a $50 gift card. So I'm assuming when you're getting the tickets, I don't know exactly how it works, but you're being entered into a drawing to win those
You
gift
collect
cards.
all of the
Okay.
pieces
Now,
of
do you
them.
have to buy something
Yeah.
in order to get a puzzle piece?
Nope. It is a free puzzle piece.
Free puzzle piece.
No fine print.
Oh, goodness, I have a lot.
Keep
to
it
do.
simple.
Keep it simple. You do have to show up, but I don't know exactly how you are entered to win. You might have to complete the puzzle.
And then go over to the booth.
We'll let you know, and we'll definitely have that answer for you by the time the show starts. Shame on
That's
me.
certainly a fun
I should
little
probably
thing.
know that. They did it at Paducah, and they said, "Do you want to participate?" And I'm like, "Heck yeah,
Mhm.
I'll play it." Anytime anybody invites me to do anything,
You don't turn.
you don't
people
have
down.
time to do that. We'll figure it out. Good morning, Angelina. Good morning, Judy. Okay, so anything else for
No,
Quilt
that's
Fest?
it.
Now we can talk about the charity sewing is September the 28th. We're doing Ryan's Case for Smiles. You know, we love Ryan's Case for Smiles. It's an amazing organization. They're shooting for 40,000 pillowcases.
Mhm.
And they hit it last year. I think they're going to hit it again. Our personal goal is 1,000, and we've already started. So please, if you have nothing to do, even if you have something to do, maybe this is
Or make it a priority to do.
That's what I was going to get. Perfect.
Mhm.
On September 28th, just come and hang out with us and sew. You don't have to bring anything except yourself. Sherry provides kits, and you literally just sit down, socialize, and sew for some good.
Mhm.
It's great. Now, if you can't join us, please make pillowcases at home and bring them at any point in time. I think that is for the entire month.
Yes, we're collecting now.
Yeah, I mean, we collect year round, but we're collecting heavily right now
Mhm.
for this $40,000
Mhm.
goal. So I get it. Not everybody can come, but you can absolutely anything that you make at home bring in because it will go towards that, and it would be much appreciated. It's an amazing organization, and every pillowcase that goes to a little child or just a child, they're not all little.
Yeah,
It makes a difference. It
Mhm.
means a lot. So
that's right.
we love it.
And for all that fabric that you bought for your grandchildren and never made anything out of,
There you go.
you can get that out and use it for pillowcases.
And do use fun.
yes,
It doesn't have to be kid fabric, like kitty fabric, but make it fun. These
Yeah,
kids
something
are
that's fun.
Yeah. No reproduction.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, don't come to my closet and take the reproduction fabric because that won't amuse anybody.
Okay, cool.
Sam just asked.
Let's see. The participating vendors are, I almost got everybody. Off the Wall Quilt, Martelli, Miss D's Quilt Shop, Classy Creations, my apologies for forgetting you, Tilted Quilters, So Many Things, Cut Up and Sew, and Rainbow's End.
Yeah, so they really cover a fair distance there too.
Yeah, there's 8. I think that was 8.
Mm,
Is what I
there's
saw.
8.
There's 8
Mhm.
vendors that are participating.
Yeah, that'll be
I'm
very
surprised
fun.
there's not more, but you know what? That makes it even easier for you guys to get all the puzzle pieces.
That's
so technically
right.
good for you guys.
That's right. And then next year there'll be more because the other shops will say, "Oh, that was really
Why
cool."
didn't we do that? We should
Why
have done
didn't
that.
we do
Cut Up and Sew's doing it. Why are we not doing it?
That's right. Well, because we're trendsetters.
That's right. Although technically this was their idea. We just hopped on like, hey, we'll play. Is there a list of shots? Okay, cool. We just answered that.
Yep.
Great. So also at the charity sewing party is the scissor sharpener. Fred will be here. So pinking shears, anything that you need sharpened, make sure you bring him in with you. He will do them. If you're here for this charity party, you can get them done while you're sewing.
Mhm.
But if you can't come, feel free to drop them off early. We will call you when they're done.
Okay.
Do not forget. And the coffee is still
Up in the air.
up in the air. Yeah. Let's see. Nina's classes.
Are
We
they
still
full?
got, no, they're not. We actually
Really?
had one cancellation because life happens and
Mhm.
families first. I get that. That's why the waiting list is so important, by the way.
Mhm.
But I think there's 2, we'll just say there's very few, 1 or 2 spots in each of her classes.
Okay.
Beginner free motion quilting 2, like the next step up. What's the actual title of that? Is it?
Free motion quilting too.
Oh, look at that.
Good
It's a
job.
good name. Very fitting. And then Chop It Like It's Hot, which is just a hodgepodge of techniques and things. And it's just a fun artsy class where you're
Mhm.
just going to play. You're going to end up with a piece of art at the end of it. It's
Hmm.
really, really cool. And Nina has kits for that. And we're going to create kits for each class. So really all you have to do, and there's a supply list, is bring your machine with an extension table and a free motion foot, because you do need to be able to free motion. So if you can drop your feed dogs,
You're
you're good.
Okay.
But Nina is fantastic, and I don't need to talk too much about her because we do every single time we mention her name. But if you haven't taken a class with her, you really should.
Yeah. A wealth of knowledge there.
Absolutely.
Come with all kinds of questions outside of what you're doing, because she'll have answers for all of them.
That's true. It's true. And it's just a good vibe. You know what I mean? Speaking of good vibes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's awesome. So Nina's classes, and the dates are October 9th, 10th, and 11th. It's that Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So it's coming up pretty soon. That's going to be here real soon. So if you're interested, sign up. I'm surprised that the last couple spots aren't full, but I know a lot of people were waiting. It's things are going on. So, okay. Oh, texting. Is it scrolling down below?
It is.
Yes. So somewhere down here, text, and I haven't said it in a while. What is it? 85100. Yeah. So text cutting crew, all capitals, to 85100. And then opt in to receive our text messages, because Tony just sent out one that was a 30% coupon. We also will remind you of charity sewing parties and events and things. And we don't harass you. One time we made a mistake and it like blasted stuff, but look at that. We figured it out.
Okay.
And so
you're not sending out like 3 texts a day.
No, because I know the people that do that, and it's very annoying.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's not, and you're just gonna unsubscribe. You're gonna hit stop.
Exactly.
I mean, and I get it. We don't want that. The point is not to be salesy, harassing. It's to communicate. Totally. I get text messages. I'm so much quicker to just click on that real quick than open an email personally.
Yeah.
And I do both very well, but some people like emails, some people like text. So we're trying to just make sure you get the information across all boards.
Yeah. And I can't tell you how many people, I'll say, I sent you an email, and they'll say, oh, I hardly ever look at my email.
Right.
They're much more into the immediate
Yep.
text.
And we will not harass you, but if you haven't opted in, please do so. It's a lot of fun. Okay, almost done with my stuff. Let's see. Make Nina's classes. Okay, machines right now, and I'm just going to say this real fast. Baby Lock and Janome has amazing 0% financing. So for people that have been in the market, kind of waiting for that super duper sale, right now they have killer financing going on. Now, I'll just go ahead and say this, because we are taking Arrow furniture. I just wanted to do that. We're taking Arrow furniture, we're taking Quilt, we're taking Caterpillar, we're taking kits and our cut up and sew thing, but we're not taking sewing machines. And people always ask, are you bringing machines? We are not. So, and I hate to put it like this, but it is what it is. If you're at the shop or at the show, excuse me, and you see a machine that you just absolutely love, and you love that quilt show price, but for whatever reason you'd prefer to get it from us, call us. We'll match the price.
What a deal.
It's easy peasy. Some people,
awesome.
well, you should buy from people that you like and people that will support you. So
and
if that's us for you,
by.
and yeah, exactly. If they're in your backyard and you like them and they support you, that's even better. You really shouldn't have to travel
3
far
hours.
to get people to support you, but I get it. I've heard the complaints.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll take care of you. That's all I'm going to say, and we'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Fabric.
Here it is.
So we just got this new line in, and it is
amazing.
So much fun. What's the actual name of it, though? Night Garden. Yeah, this is a blank. There we go. And it is so whimsical and pretty, and oh boy, is it my colors.
Yeah. Were there animals? There's owls on this one.
This one's got the owls, which
Owls sitting
I'm
in
a
the-
sucker for owls.
I can see
Owls.
that. And then birds. They're so pretty.
Yeah. I
A lot of awesome
hate to say this. I hate birds, but I love, they're so pretty.
Mhm.
Like, I like them on fabric. Anything that flies freaks me out. So
Bees.
bees are still a
Such
thing.
a-
It's amazing how many bolts of fabric we get with bees that are on them. But I'll be honest with you, this might be the coolest bee. What's this called? Honeycomb print that I've seen in a while. Well, I was gonna say hexagon. Honeycomb was the word I was looking for. I'm not working anymore, so I get to take classes again. I'm so excited. Hey, JoJo.
Oh,
We haven't seen JoJo in forever.
for a
Good. Well,
while.
come and
I was
hang out with
thinking
us.
about her the other day. What are these things called? they're not groundhogs. They're
Hedgehog.
Hedgehogs.
hedgehogs.
They look like little mini porcupines, but dang, look how cute that is.
Yeah.
That is, come on.
As much as you don't want them in your garden, they sure are cute on fabric.
Yeah. Leah, you're absolutely right. 100%. Feeling comfortable with who you buy from is essential.
Mm-hmm.
And if for some
Exactly.
reason you don't feel comfortable with us, with me, with anybody, you know what? Buy somewhere else. Now, I feel pretty confident in every single person that works here. That's why they work here. And I trust all of them that you're going to be taken care of.
Is this a lizard or a gecko?
It's a
Chameleon.
it's either a chameleon or a iguana. I don't know.
Some sort of reptile.
It's a chameleon.
It's a lizard.
But he's colorful.
Yes, he is. He's very pretty.
So, and I didn't take the panel. I didn't really open it up, but I think you can see it enough. I'm going to hold it back here. Let me wait for the camera to catch up here because I'm on a delay.
So all the animals, you need to show the other side because all the animals that are in the
They're not
in the fabrics,
So,
no, in the other one.
Yeah. And then I'll flip it around. And then all of those really cute animals,
Yeah.
they have
Are in
blocks. Look at that guy up higher.
Yeah, he's
There
really
you go.
cute. There's the bee and the birds and the hedgehog and butterfly, all that stuff. It's really cute.
It's a really cool line. So that just came in. I think we have yard cuts of this going to the show. I'm not 100% sure, but I have a feeling this one's going to go fast. So come in and grab it if you like it. And you can hang it up or just put it over there so you don't feel so claustrophobic.
I'm okay now. I've adapted.
We found a bat on our umbrella. It was scary. That's random, but cool.
Okay. Is this an umbrella that
Yeah.
fabric or never mind? I don't want to know.
Yeah, that's Trish. So don't worry. It's not,
patio
it's
umbrella.
not in Florida. Let's see. No, you haven't. I even have my thing from the shop still there. I can't wait to come in next weekend. Fantastic. Don't know what thing that is, but I bet you somebody does.
Mm-hmm.
We'd love to see it. It has been a while. So what show? Where's the show? You've been under a rock, JoJo? Quilt Fest, September 19th through the 21st. That's this week in Jacksonville at the Prime F. Osborne Convention Center. It's going to be awesome. And then the last thing on here, it says to turn it over, and it just says big announcement.
Are you waiting until the very
But you're
end?
not going to know the big announcement
You gotta wait.
until Quilt Fest on the 19th. So I'm
Oh.
just going to tell you, we've got some really big news, huge news. And so we're going to unveil that information at the Quilt Show.
Okay.
So just stay tuned. We're going to try to go live. I said, let me back up. We will go live on that Thursday morning. Yeah. And I don't know what time yet because it really depends just when the doors open, how many people. But the plan is we're going to go live right at the beginning of the show. And then obviously we will, don't worry, you'll find out. Trust me. It's going to be a big, big announcement.
I don't know about you, but I am exhausted from waiting.
Like for 1 minute because you just found out.
I know.
All right. That is it.
That's it.
Look at that.
Okay.
23 minutes. That's
23 minutes. So if you are going to the Quilt Fest, you need to go prepared. So I thought I would let you know today what you need in order to prepare for going to the quilt show. The first thing that's really important is your phone.
True.
Your phone, you want to be able and make sure that it's fully charged because you want to make sure that you can get to the show because it'll tell you how to get to the show. You use your Google thing. It'll help you. You can take
Google
pictures. You can Google Maps. I'm sorry.
GPS.
I'm old. I have these.
No, you're right.
Google.
You're right there. Yeah.
So anyway, you can use it to take pictures because you'll want to take a lot of pictures of the beautiful quilts that are there, and you'll want to be able to remember the inspiration that you got from them when you were there. You also will need it if you go with friends. You will need it to be able to find your friends when you've spent a lot of time looking at one quilt and they've moved on. So make sure you have your phone. Make sure it's well charged.
Where are you at? I'm next to the quilt.
Been there. Okay.
There's a lot of quilts, and you get it's fun.
The next thing I take is a crossbody little tiny purse, just big enough to put my credit card in and my cash Tony is laughing at
No,
me.
I'm laughing at him.
I bumped
okay.
into Ken
Oh, okay.
or
Dexter. So I can put all the very essential things I need. I have some lip gloss in there, my credit cards, my identification, just those little, and my tickets for the show, just so everything is in there. And it's a crossbody instead of carrying my regular purse, so that I don't put it down and leave it someplace, along
Smart.
with my phone. So my phone fits in here, everything goes in there that I need, and I don't have to worry about carrying something or something getting in my way. And you know, when you're in those booths, they're small, and if you've got a big purse, you're always banging into somebody.
And inevitably, well, let me back up. Also, put cash in there so you can get tickets for the cash pay.
That's right.
But
Good point.
inevitably, you're going to get a bag from one of the booths, whether it's the
Mhm.
actual, whatever. You're going to
Mhm.
have a bag, and you're just going to throw stuff in there. So you're going to be carrying a bag
Yes.
of some sort.
Mhm.
Why do you don't need two bags?
Right. And this
So that's
makes
really
it,
smart.
you
Crossbody bag.
Okay, so crossbody bag. Now
We're
I
a
have
traveler over
included-
here. I love it.
I have included a little notebook in case I want to, sometimes I want to draw out. I can take pictures most of the time, but sometimes I want to write something down or draw out something that I've seen. So I have a notebook and a pen. I have a card that I've been keeping a list of all the things that I want to look at while I'm there, or the things that I need to buy while I'm there. And it's a card and I could put it on my phone and have everything on my phone, but because it's been ongoing for the last month, it's a card. And on the back, I have glued on there fabric that I would like. I want to buy a certain color fabric, and I want it to go with this fabric here. So I've got the fabric on there, and that I'm looking to match.
Going to a quilt show with a task or a goal is pretty smart, because a lot of times you'll get there and you're like, whoa, I don't know what,
Yeah.
it's.
You don't know where to go first. So I have a couple other little fabric things in here that I need to match while I'm there. So I wanted some extra fabric to go with my Lone Star that I've been working on. This is a really old block that I was making, and I have a couple of them, but they're lacking the background, and I need to find some background that will match this and go with that. So I'm going to look for that there. Just little pieces of things that I need. I also have my color chart. I want to buy some thread while I'm there, and I have my color chart to remind me what I've already got at home, because I have a tendency to buy the same thing over and over again. Then I also have.
That's smart. Yeah, I don't think I have that blue.
Mhm.
You're like, I don't think I have that blue. I guarantee you got that.
That's me.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, and in order to have a bag that will fit everything plus everything I'm going to buy, except for maybe the long arm that I want, I have this bag that I really love, and it says "Love What You Do" on the front. I actually got it at Houston a few years ago, and it's a perfect bag for taking with me to just start stuffing stuff in with when I buy it.
So Cindy put return address labels for raffle quilts.
That's a good
A
idea.
lot of booths do giveaways and things like that. So instead of writing it all down, ladies just bring it and
Oh, good idea.
smart.
Good idea.
Cindy, it's like you've done this before.
Those are excellent ideas. So
Yeah.
anyway, I am ready to go. The only thing I need to add it to this is a bottle of water, if they let me take it in, a pair of comfortable shoes that so that I don't stop shopping or looking because my feet hurt. So I am ready to go.
Yeah, you are.
And
Good morning, Ginger. Hey, Mom.
it's always fun to have your mom there, isn't it?
It is.
Okay, so I am ready to go to the show. And you've got 3 days now left to get all your stuff together.
That's right.
So,
Joann will be there to check your bags.
yes.
To make sure you've listened.
I'll be right there at the front door waiting for you. So anyway, usually the things that I talk about come from whatever's going on in my sewing room. But this week, what I wanted to talk about was something that actually happened in the classroom. And last week I was teaching a class. It had gotten to a point where I wanted everybody to have a cutting mat so that they could do some cutting at their area. And so I was walking around checking. I was going to give people a mat from here at the shop if they didn't have one. And I got to this one person's place, And I looked at the mat, and it was I couldn't believe it. It had to have had like 1/8 of an inch of lint and threads and dirt and junk piled. You know, it sort of reminded me of you've heard about that trash that's in the middle of the ocean, that big.
It just built. Although this is much better than that. That means she's using it, which is
Yes,
great.
That is true. She's using it. So before I even thought about what I was saying, I said, "Oh my goodness, the shop certainly isn't taking care of their mats, are they?" And she said, "Well, I've never really cleaned it. It's mine." I felt a little bad. But anyway, so my first thought was then, well, obviously what we need is a lesson in taking care of your mat. So I brought her mat with me, which I've been working on over the weekend.
I'm raising her up just a tad.
Okay.
That way people can see
Is that good?
Mhm.
I can see it.
So there's some things
I'm
that,
gonna go look for something.
oh,
Continue, please.
can you do me a favor?
Yes.
Where's my other cat? Oh, here it is.
Both of the hosts have left. This will be it. Just you and Dexter.
He's got a lot of good stuff. Can you just wet this for me, please?
Oh
No.
Don't even do that. So anyway, so taking care of your mat is sort of an ongoing process, and you want to take care of it on a regular basis. And the main thing that you can do to really help yourself is to, once you know, we have those days where we're cutting and cutting and cutting, and the mat gets used, and by the end of the day, it's a mess, and you've got all kinds of threads and things on there. So the best thing you can do at the end of the day or at the end of a cut, you know, a certain period of time, is to just clean your mat off. And you want to clean it off like this. And this is a little, I bought this from Josh, and
That's what I was going to go look for.
Oh.
How wet do you want this?
just, yeah.
Because they're so, yeah, okay.
So this is like a little silicone scrubby, I guess, brush rinsing pad. And what it does is it will pull off all the threads that get in there. Now, a typical cutting mat is made up of PVC filaments. And if you think of like a box of pencils or a box of straws where they're all standing up straight like that, the filaments are all standing up straight. So when you use your rotary cutter and you cut along that, it kind of separates them. And then they kind of, so it separates as the blade is going through, and then they close in on it. And so, but what can happen, especially if you cut in the same place over and over, is that those threads will kind of bury down into there. So what you're trying to do initially is just get those threads off of your mat to begin with. And you want it all nice and clean. Now, let's say you haven't cleaned your mat in a long time. So the next step would be that you would want to soak it, because your mat needs two things. It needs to be clean and it needs to be moisturized. So you want to soak it. Now, if you have a bathtub, and this size here fits very nicely in a bathtub, you want to put about 2 or 3 inches of water in the bathtub and then a whole bunch of vinegar. And there is they say 1/4 cup of vinegar to a gallon of water. I have no idea how you measure out the water in a bathtub. So I just threw some vinegar in there, figured it would be enough. So I put it in there. And the really interesting thing is, and the water should be cool. You don't want it to be hot. And if you're kind of, is this warm enough? Is this cool enough? Err on the side of cool, because you don't want it hot. So anyway, you kind of, you put it in the water, and it's amazing. After half an hour, you can go back, and floating on the water is things that you didn't get off with this. And it has floated those extra threads up. So you're getting everything nice and clean. So once you've soaked it, you're going to, at that point, you can dry it, and you can take a little bit of Dawn or dish soap and put it on your little scrubby thing here, along with some water, and scrub it so that you're getting it nice and clean.
This here.
Yes, that would be it. Is that mine?
Yes, it is.
We don't sell this yet. Now I cut up and sew, Dawn.
Now I cut up and sew Dawn and
$49.99.
glue.
Yeah, right.
So anyway, you can do that, and it will start to clean off all of the whatever's left. And so once you've cleaned it off, you want to clean all around your mat, just going all the way around your mat like this, and just get it nice and clean. And then once you've done that, you can wipe it off with a damp cloth and then just let it dry. And that does everything you need, like moisturize and clean, and it gets it nice and just almost like new. Now, if you have little cuts in your mat, you know,
you will because you cut on it.
That's right. They're kind of they're the fine ones, not the big ones. These big ones, the real grooves, and you see them as, you know, you might have mats with real grooves in them, but you really see them at quilt stores where they've cut over the same line over and over again.
Yeah.
But for the little scars, you can take like a nail file, one of those nail buffing blocks or something like that, and you just move it across your mat in the direction that those scars are going in, and that will help take those little scars out. Now, I've already done this as much as I can, and so it's not progressing, but that is one thing you can do. Now, there is a company called Continental Needle Company, and they actually have a round disc that is made specifically for doing that, and so and that will take out some of those grooves that you have in there. Now, the thing to remember is, especially this big groove here, those grooves will never come out. You are stuck with those. And there are two good ways to avoid that. One is making sure that your rotary blade is sharp.
Constantly, yeah.
Constantly. And I know how much, and you know, I've said this before, I know how much we hate to change those blades. But it's so important, and it's important not just for your fabric, but it's important for your mat. And if you do keep your blade sharp, then it helps to maintain that mat. Mats these days are so expensive, and you want to really take care of them, because I can remember when I had mats like this, I would replace those mats at least once every 2 years because I didn't know you could take care of them. I just thought they were a mess.
And by the way, get one of the expensive mats. Don't go for the cheap plastic. Get the self-healing, the good quality, because I'm telling you, it lasts so much longer. It is night and day how well it cuts versus the cheap stuff.
Exactly. Totally. And if you take care of it, then it will last for years.
You can stretch out its life by listening to this. And as far as rotary blades, you know, we were both surprised when we did live with Fred, and he was like, I can sharpen the rotary blades. And I'm like, huh. Now, what I don't remember is what it cost.
I don't know.
Do you remember?
Or something like that.
A couple bucks or something? Yeah, I feel like it was super inexpensive. That's awesome, I guess. If we're out and you just have one left, you know, but replace your blades is where I'm going with that. And don't sharpen all of your blades. I still think
and if you are using your blade and you hit a pin or a needle or something and you actually ding the blade, that will not be able to be fixed. Yeah. You can, you know, like Fred sounds like Fred has a way of honing them so that they're not back to their new state, but at least they're sharper than they were.
Yeah. $3. Thank you, Louise.
$3. That's great.
Which is great. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I love that he sharpens them. But Fred's not always around.
Yeah.
Replace your blades.
And the other thing you can do is, so that you're not getting rid of them. So I keep this rotary cutter because it's different from all my others. I actually prefer the Olfa ones because they have this little gripping place here, and it fits in my hand, and it's nice and light. It's the weight I like. Everything about it is perfect for me. So I use the Olfa blades mostly, but this handle, which I don't care for as much, if I take a blade off of here, I'll put it onto here, and that way I have something to cut paper with, or if I'm doing a collage and I'm cutting the steam-a-seam, things like that. This is good for that, whereas I save this just for my fabric. So keep your blade sharp.
Smart.
Yeah, that's very smart.
It's like your paper scissors versus your
That's it,
fabric
exactly.
scissors.
And
good morning, Finn.
I think that might be all I have. Now, the really cool thing that I learned while I was doing this is, let's say you have a mat that you have left somewhere and it's gotten warped. And it, once the mat is warped
in the car in Florida.
Yeah. Or, I have one mat that I'll show you in just a minute that had a warp in it. And I don't even know how it happened because I don't take that mat anywhere. It always stays in my sewing room. And then one day I look at it, it's got this warp in it. Oh, I forgot to use this. Where did this go? Oh, so
I don't know if it's wet enough.
these this is the Magic Eraser, Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. And if you have marks on your mat, the Mr. Clean Magic Eraser will take those off. So I can go around and all these little pencil marks or whatever they are, they will all come off with a magic eraser.
They are magic.
They are
and
magic.
They pretty much erase everything. I know. Whoever made that invention. Oof.
They're really good. Now, the
It's
last
better than
thing.
a pet rock.
So this mat.
Did you pet rock stumper?
Yeah, it stumped her.
You made like $1 million on a rock that's a pet.
Yes, it's crazy.
Genius.
So this mat, I don't know if you can see it here, but there's a warp right here.
Oh, yeah.
Well, before I started working with this, that warp went all the way around the mat.
Oh, wow.
And it was just on the edge. It wasn't in the center. And I thought, so as I'm watching these videos on how to take care of your mat, there was a couple on how to get rid of the warp. So I thought, I'm going to give that a try because the mat's warped. I can't do much with it. So I might as well try and fix it. So if you want to fix that warp in your mat, what you do is you take a towel like this one and you wet it. It doesn't have to be dripping wet. It just needs to be wet. And you put it over the area where your warp is. You take your iron, and I know that every common sense thing says don't use an iron on your mat, but this will actually work. So you take your iron and you press right over the warped area, and you can put your iron on there. The towel is wet. It's kind of absorbing a lot of the heat, but you put it on your mat and just press it for about 30 seconds, I guess. And you take it off and you dry it a little bit because it'll be a little wet. And then you put some weight on it, like a stack of books or something like that. And you leave it for about 24 hours. Now, this was going all the way around and it's perfectly flat everywhere except for right across here where I haven't done it yet. And so it's taken a mat that was kind of frustrating to me because it was warped. And it has made it into a mat that's now very usable and
Very cool.
That is cool. I wonder if a heat gun would work.
No.
Iron works great.
Most people have an iron, so no, this is great. I'm just, the
Yeah,
heat is what you're doing. It's the dampness and the heat, and it's basically loosening it up and making it wobbly. Like you could warp it even more, bend it whatever shape you want. But that's cool.
But I think part of it is, when you put the iron on it, and you take it off, it'll be cut. It'll feel very flimsy.
Yeah.
So it's really important that you put those heavy books on it until it has completely cooled.
To keep it flat. Yeah.
So now the way to avoid those grooves is one, I already talked about it, is the make sure your blade is sharp. The other is what we tend to do is we tend to take our rotary cutter and we measure our fabric by the lines on your mat. So when you're cutting in, let's say you're cutting 1.5 inch your fabric into 1.5 inch strips, then you constantly are cutting on the same lines over and over. Well, the way to avoid that groove or different scars in your mat is instead of measuring by the lines on your mat, you measure by the lines on your ruler. So you make that initial cut to make sure you have a nice straight edge. You make that initial cut with the line on your ruler. But after that, you can move your fabric any way you want to any area you want. And then you're not cutting on the same line. So a lot of times what I'll do is I even turn my fabric to an angle. So I'm cutting across this way instead of up and down. And so that will decrease the amount of times you're cutting over and over and over again in one direction.
How hot do you make the iron?
My iron stays permanently on the very hottest section. So it's so I don't have an answer for that.
On hot.
Mhm.
Cotton setting.
Okay, so I'm just checking to make sure I've told you everything I know.
There's a lot of information. Feel free to go back and watch this and then take the notes. But this is great. See, again, amazing stuff to talk about. Super useful. Everybody uses these things. It's great.
And mats get warped, and things that you can do to avoid is, like if you happen to be one of those people that uses your computer while you're sewing and you put your computer on your mat, you probably don't want to do that because the computer is warm. Or if you put your coffee cup or your teacup on your mat, you probably don't want to do that because they're warm and they're going to add to the problem of the warping. So just, keeping, and, although I said to iron it in order to get rid of the warp, if you're ironing your fabric on top of your mat, it's not the right thing to do, even just a little bit.
It's true. You can also use the back side of the mat if need be.
Absolutely.
If you have the reversible, not the cheapo mats. You're right. Or is that what you're talking about? Flipping it and using the opposite side?
Yeah.
Louise?
So especially if you're cutting like flannels or minky or anything that has a nap to it, and you don't really need the, I think if you're looking at this
Two sides.
That one's really thin.
So this one doesn't have lines on it. So I know that with one mat, I put 2 lines on it, so I'd have a straight line on it. But you can use the back of your mat, and I do use the back of my mat for cutting minky and things like that, so that because that stuff will sink down into those fibers and cause a problem.
It's true. And if you have one of those cheaper mats, they're going to crack, and it's telling you there's a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those cheap mats are probably good for when you first start and you don't know whether you're going to actually like quilting, and you get a cheap one, but don't keep it forever.
Well, you won't because it'll crack.
And then when you go to get a new one, get a good one.
Yeah. Go to like a quilt show or something and look for a deal.
That's right.
Yeah. It's a good point though. This is an expensive hobby. So people who are just starting off, you hit them with buy this expensive piece and then this, they go, whoa, what am I getting into? I don't even know if I'm going to like this yet. So it's a good point. Crawl before you walk.
Right. Exactly.
I don't see any other questions, Tony. Did we miss anything?
No.
Okay. Good morning, Karen. Well, now is the time for our Q&A. So did you have any questions on the quilt show, on the techniques that Joann, I called you Joanna. It's my sister.
It's my favorite name.
Joann. It's so close to your name. Joann talked about. Any questions on sewing for charity party? What else we got? Nina's classes. You name it.
We're going to ask for the code word.
Oh.
And the code word. Oh, okay. I was going to say Dexter.
Oh, that works too.
But no.
Next.
Yeah. All right. So then while you guys are thinking, if you have any questions, again, I think we're just so thorough every week that we get 0 questions.
Well, the point of the questions was in case somebody came in late.
Well, absolutely. And a lot of times, and the reason we started doing this was a great idea is because a lot of times people are listening and we're kind of going so fast that they feel like they don't want to interrupt by typing in the question then. You can type it in anytime, but this just gives you enough time at the end, hopefully, to do so. And people that just joined, And if you're watching this not live, still ask the question. We look at this. We'll go back and answer it. For sure. Number for texting, please, again. Sure. Just FYI, it is scrolling somewhere here,
right
but text cutting crew, all capitals, to 85100. So like just act like you're going to text somebody, and the phone number is 85100, and in the subject area, text cutting crew.
Okay.
That it? Makes sense? Sweet. All right. Code word. Remember, if you're at the show and you pay with cash and you say the code word puzzle, puzzle, you will get 2 entries into the $100 gift card giveaway.
Okay, I can see I'm not going to live
also, if you're in the shop, and we still have our regular $25 gift card that we're giving away for the cash big here in the store, the code word is also puzzle for this week.
Okay.
You're welcome, Becca. All right. Looks like that's it. Do not forget, Sewing for Charity party on September the 28th. Scissor sharpener. If you can't come that day, bring your scissors early. Quilt Fest is Thursday, which that's
3 days.
might as well be tomorrow. Yeah, we got a lot to do. 0% financing on machines. Look around at the shop at the show. If you see something that you love that we don't have, we can get it for you and we'll price match.
Okay.
There's a huge announcement. I put big, but big's not big enough.
Oh, that's
An enormous announcement on Thursday the 19th. And I think that's it. So there's only one thing left to do.
say goodbye.
Live to create.
Now, if you're feeling a little bit low on your creativity feeling, go to the show and be prepared.
I love it. Like now. See you guys. See you very soon.
Okay.
All right, we're good.